MrBeast has come out to hint to everyone he's thinking about a future run for U.S. president. He is coming for the White House, the first influencer slash YouTuber president. He is going to be the one. He tweeted out, if we lower the age to run for president, I'll jump in the race. And by the way, he is still a while from reaching the minimum age.
At least another 2 cycles.
Yeah, he's like 26 right now, which I actually thought he was a little bit younger than that. But he is a Zoomer. Yeah. He would be also the first Zoomer president. We haven't even had a millennial president.
No.
So that would be a jump, first of all. It would take a lot of getting used to.
Wait, what was Obama?
Wasn't he Gen X?
When does Gen X start? 67?
Like 68 or something?
67?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Wasn't he?
I have no idea.
At least I thought so.
He tries to pretend he is with that music list he does every year.
Yeah, and maybe it could be like Vivek as the vice president for MrBeast, because I don't want Chris Tyson anywhere near that cabinet.
Yeah.
Just no. Immediately no.
Yeah, look, on its face, I laugh. My tweet was basically like, look, there's no way he would be allowed to be president because his version of foreign aid is far too efficient, and we don't do efficient foreign aid in this country. It's not something we really do. I would, however, like I said before, support the idea that we create weird Squid Games for every country if they want to get our foreign aid. At the very least,
make it meritocratic.
At the very least, every time we give out hundreds of millions of dollars of pork barrel spending, we should get YouTube videos out of it.
Okay, we got a 20 from Brewmaster Monk. I've been working lots of overtime, so here's some cash. You guys should start a nonprofit so I can write off my super chats. Maybe something about securing Haktua ladies for the unfortunately abled. I don't know about all that.
I sent you an article.
Is that going to be MrBeast's next Philanthropy?
An article today about a holistic sex worker
who helps, disabled people. You said, or like mentally ill people as well. Yeah, with intimacy issues. Yep. Interesting.
But
anyway, I just picture MrBeast in Air Force One, airdropping thousands of Feastables onto Gaza or onto North Korea, maybe.
I like this one right here.
Like his philanthropy.
I gave away the entire U.S. military budget to a subscriber.
Yes. Like, the potential is there. But I just don't know if he has the charisma.
To be president?
Isn't he, like, notoriously flat?
He requires very strong editing in his videos to make him look a certain way, right?
Like, he smiles without his eyes. Isn't that a sign of a psychopath?
I mean, you said that, right? That he smiles without his eyes. Do you want to explain to people what that means?
Okay, like this, like.
So his eyes don't move.
This is how he smiles.
He also went back through and like he goes through and he randomly changes his thumbnails. Can you imagine him going through and just randomly making changes to the U.S. government website with better pictures?
Yeah.
Like to US.gov?
Yeah. Yeah. And we had the thumbnail today is him pointing at the audience. Yeah. It gives Uncle Sam energy.
Look, for years, people have complained about the U.S. being like world policing and everything. He would stop the world policing. He would just start giving away more. He would take the money from the military black budget and just build even more wells in Africa.
Well, he says that he wouldn't be focusing on YouTube because someone in the replies asked, would you still make YouTube videos if you were president? He said, I'd probably focus on running the largest economy on earth. What he left out of that is it would be my YouTube channel.
Yes.
And someone asked, are you sharp as attack? And he said, attack fresh out the box.
I think that
we don't have to worry about him becoming senile.
It's weird because and he does he already employs lots of people and has to worry about constantly monitoring his accounts, and image is important to him and all of these things. I just don't think that anybody would ever actually vote for him unless they were under a certain demographic, right?
Well, Trump already proved that you can come into politics as a complete outsider.
But I'm saying I think his age is a barrier for
the president.
Him. I think his age is actually a barrier for him early on with older voters.
It definitely would be.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, like that barrier has already been broken for someone in entertainment to become the president. I mean, Reagan did it, obviously. Yeah. Trump did it, obviously. But as a complete outsider to politics in general, I just think like this unfortunately will add more fuel to the fire of the rumors that MrBeast is the Antichrist.
Yeah.
I don't personally believe it, but many people do. I saw that most recently he was getting backlash for building a bunch of houses in El Salvador.
Yeah.
And reportedly people who live there, the locals, started immediately selling the houses for a marked up price. However, the community notes came in to save the day. That says the Minister of Housing in El Salvador denounced that post as fake and clarified that these houses MrBeast built cannot be sold for another 20 years.
I want him, if he became president, every time he has to sign some bill, he has to make a YouTube video about it, explaining it to everyone. And then people would actually learn about civics.
I don't know. That just seems like surrendering to idiocracy at that point.
I mean, I think we were long past.
We're already there.
We just did 8 minutes on a girl that everyone knows as Haktua.
It doesn't get more idiocratic than that.
And got a weird syrupy documentary about a girl talking about oral sex. So I don't know if more idiocracy is really the problem. I think we're sufficiently in the world of idiocracy now.
Someone replied, "Can't wait for $1 versus $1 million drone strike."
He's like, look, no. I bought a mini handheld drone from Target, and then I also used this one from Raytheon.
Whoever stays in the circle the longest gets their Social Security. No, this is actually like pretty good meme fodder.
Chat,
I don't think it would actually happen.
Chat, I would like to know whether anybody here would actually vote for MrBeast, because first of all, he wouldn't be able to run as MrBeast.
Is he running as the MrBeast party?
As Jimmy Dunn? No, they'd be the Feastable party. Yeah.
The Feastable party.
He can have his own. He can have his own version of like Michelle Obama's like school lunch reform with Feastables.
I like, his GF as the first lady. She has first lady potential.
How do you feel about the idea of age in politics, right? Because this is one of those things that people always talk about, right? Well, they're all old. Yes, they are. They're ancient. They're rich. They're corrupt. Everyone understands that. But we also have plenty of young people that are entering politics now that I refuse to believe that AOC or Ilhan Omar or any of these people that are considered young for for politics are bringing new and fresh ideas to the...
It's not about new and fresh ideas. It's about branding. And most likely the future first Gen Z president is already being groomed out of one of the major institutions, Yale, Harvard, any of those Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
They're probably deeply entrenched in the elite and being groomed for the position as we speak.
In those weird secret societies that they always have at those schools.
Skull and Bones whatever, the ones that you don't know the name of. Yep. And it's not going to be a YouTuber. That's the truth. But what's interesting about it is that, I keep thinking, when are we going to have a president or a politician who was on social media as a kid?
Which president will have to worry about their N-word tweets being pulled up?
Essentially, yeah. Essentially, which future president is going to have to scrub their digital footprint, and is that even possible?
Yeah.
Because people are going to be digging into your past more than...
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's when they would always bring up the idea of Michelle Obama running for office, or certain people who are, or Oprah, or certain people. I mean, she's not what I'd consider wholesome, but there's certain people who they talk about wanting them to get into politics. They talk about The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Where it's you don't realize how much politics dirties you up until you get involved. Right? Which is why it's best to steer clear, especially if you've already made your money and you're doing your own thing. MrBeast will help infinitely more people in the private sector than he ever could as an American president.
Yeah,
because of bureaucracy.
Trump gave up being liked, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
For an entertainer, but for him especially, and it's probably really hard to make that choice. And I wouldn't even want to see any of the people you listed go into politics.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They try to find the person who's the least problematic person you can think of and then say they should be president.
But you just don't know.
It's because it hasn't.
You don't know yet. They haven't been exposed yet for all of the things that make them problematic, right? But I'm just wondering, when are we gonna have the future president who was on Snapchat in middle school and saying the most out of pocket things, and they most certainly will be, raked over the coals for that.
So
but at what point will it be so universally accepted that, when Zoomers are passed the torch and are in all of the positions of leadership, at a certain point in the future, is it going to be a scandal anymore?
Will it
that
even
you
matter?
Posted something uncouth?
Once we get
in 2015?
Secretary Logan Paul, and you have to worry about the forest video coming out, and nobody cares.
He's never
anymore.
going to make a diplomatic trip to Japan.
No, that one's out of the question.
That
Flynn.
is out of the question.
No Secretary of State for Logan Paul. Sorry.
But
Can't
yeah,
happen.
MrBeast just started an interesting conversation. I don't think he actually intends to jump into the race.
No, but I do think it's interesting because I constantly hear about it being age that's the problem. And I say, look, I don't see any young politicians with great ideas.
No.
I guess I enjoy Vivek Ramaswamy, and he's younger. He's what, 38 or something, or 40?
He's definitely in his early 40s now.
Let's call 40 young for politics.
40 is young for politics, which is crazy, but it's true.
Let's not just say that because somebody's 26 that they're going to come up with great ideas. That's actually the opposite.
Literally the opposite.
Yes.
And I am actually very much okay with keeping the minimum age at 35. Personally.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.